There we go. My bad. There we go. Let's start this over. The PC updated to Windows 11. And man, I have been having the time of my life trying to get everything back to where it's supposed to be. It's really, really, really annoying. But I guess we're figuring it out on the fly. That's what we're doing. All right, so anyway, Run It Back Nation, what is good? Now that you can hear me. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. You know the drill. Hit the subscribe button. Only 30% of people that watch these shows are subscribed to the channel. That's fraudulent behavior, and this is the no fraud zone. So hit the subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. Speaking of frauds, I got my chat on top of the ad, man. I'm all jacked up. Oh, where's this? Where's the? Oh my goodness, man! All right, here we go. Did you know the fastest growing crime in America is it's identity theft? All right, for years the crime rate's been surging and affecting millions of Americans. Imagine trying to log into your email account one day only to see the password has been changed hours ago. Then you start getting notifications of activity from your bank, credit cards, crypto accounts. That's when the feelings of fear, panic, anxiety, paranoia, disbelief, shock, anger, frustration all set in. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aura, who is sponsoring this video and who just so happens to be the #1 identity theft protection company in the country. Go to aura.com/runitback. Sign up for a 14-day free trial. Protect yourself from identity theft. You do everything on the internet. You bank on the internet. You invest on the internet. You gamble on the internet. So much of your information is out there. Card numbers, social security numbers, bank account information. Don't let one of these frauds steal it. Protect yourself. Aura.com/runitback. Link is in the description. Sign up for a 14-day free trial. See if it's right for you. That's all you got to do. Cancel anytime. Sign up. See if it's right for you. Cancel anytime. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. Okay. Let's get into this, man. 80 people in here. What's going on? Thanks for being here. I had some things planned for this show, and then about a minute before I was sitting here. I was sitting here still just, typing through some things and looked at my phone, and I see what I did not want to see, something that I let's just read the tweet. It's from Shams Sharania, how the hell you say his name. But if Shams tweets it, it's true. The Utah Jazz are interviewing the Philadelphia 76ers assistant Sam Cassell for their open head coaching job. Sources tell me and T. Jones on the NBA. Cassell was part of the 2008 championship Celtics, constructed by now Jazz CEO Danny Ainge, and has been an assistant coach since 2009. Now, look, there's a lot of things that are running through my mind right now. All right. I prayed to the heavens that we would give up on the Doc Rivers experiment after 2 seasons. After what I saw the first season, after what I saw the second season, not a damn thing is changing with Doc Rivers. He's the old man in the comforter. He's the old man in the lounge chair. What the hell's in the recliner? Sitting in a living room, yelling at the TV, smashing the remote, rolling a rotary phone with his finger. He's not changing. So the organization tries to sell to me, hey, look, the roster wasn't good enough, or it's ever-changing. He hasn't had enough time to be consistent with players, and he had to deal with the Ben Simmons thing, and he had to deal with this, and this, so he deserves another season. And they're trying to sell that to me, and the only, where'd the tweet go? The only thing that makes me feel okay about Doc Rivers coming back is the fact that we still have, for now, an assistant coach who I see as the heir to the throne. But now it comes out that the Utah Jazz are interviewing Sam Cassell, who I think should be the Sixers head coach. This is not difficult to do. This is not difficult. This is very simple. Fire Doc Rivers, promote Sam Cassell. He's already interviewing with other teams. Sixers. Where's my beeper at? If you this up, it's gonna there's been plenty of final straws with this organization. Plenty. Right when you think they've pulled the final straw. Right when you last season, this is the last straw for me, I'm done watching. This is the last straw for me, I'm done watching. Right when you think they couldn't this up any more than they have in the past couple of years, they're going to give away another young, motivated, open-minded, more connected to today's NBA, creative coach to another NBA team. Do we have to go down the list of assistant coaches we have allowed to walk away? Monty Williams, Ime, what's his name in Boston? I can never say his name right. Sam Cassell. We're going to let another coach walk away, and we're going to keep Dinosaur Doc Rivers. I wasn't going to do the Fire Glenn t-shirts yet. I wasn't going to do the Sell the Team t-shirts yet. But if they let Sam Cassell walk away and they keep Dinosaur Rivers, it's time. I don't know what else to say about that. That's where I'm at with it. Now look, it's the money. I know it's the money. They signed Doc to a 5-year contract. Josh Harris isn't going to budge on that. They're not going to take that hit. They're just not. So you would have to try to trade him, honestly. That's honestly what would have to happen. You would have to try to trade him. Can that happen? Could a coach be traded for the second time in his coaching career? I don't see anything happening with Doc Rivers on this coaching this team. And I just cannot believe that this franchise is about to sit back and watch another young coach who has 20 years ahead of him at least go to another franchise. And I'm sorry to tell you guys, like I sit here and say, fire Doc Rivers, promote Sam Cassell. I sit here and say whatever I want to say. It's not going to happen. Doc is coming back. They're going to let Sam Cassell take a job somewhere else. It's 100% going to happen. That is sad, but that is going to happen. You can't bring anything back. Dino says bring back Sam Hinkie. You can't bring back anybody. It's done. The process is over. It's done. Daryl Morey has a job to do to try to figure things out. But my goodness, they just keep making things worse. They just keep making things more complicated. Eric says Doc is the most overrated coach ever. He needed 14 games to get past the first 2 rounds with a super team in 2008. 100% accurate right there. 100% accurate right there. I'm trying to use a new chat window today because I like the look of it. So, bear with me. Not sure how exactly I want it to look yet, where I want it to be, how big I want it to be, all that kind of stuff. Maybe I can roll this back this way again. Kaiser, this team is so dumb. Would let Sam go but keep Doc, SMFH. It's the money. It's 100% the money. That's what this team, that's their issue right now. That's their issue right now. And so there you have it. Sam Cassell's interviewing. It's going to happen. The Sixers are bringing back Doc Rivers. We have to just live with it. I just thought Doc Rivers coming back, like, okay, it's all right because if he starts the season 2-5, 2-10, maybe he gets fired and Sam Cassell gets promoted. But our worst nightmare is going to continue to be reality, and that is we are stuck with Doc Rivers. That was my first stream once the season ended, and we got to live with it. We are stuck with Doc Rivers. So the Utah Jazz are interviewing Philadelphia 76ers assistant Sam Cassell for their open head coaching job. Sources tell Cassell was part of the 2008 championship Celtics, constructed by now Jazz CEO Danny Ainge, and has been an assistant coach since 2009. Below 95, what's up, man? Says, imagine back-to-back news. Sam Cassell is gone, and then Morey overpays Harden. We talked about the Harden thing a lot, and I don't think he's going to opt in because opting in to $47 million 1 year would just put too much pressure on himself to try to then play at a level where he would earn another 5-year contract. I think his best option, and he's not a stupid person, he knows his best option is to sign for less money, a longer contract, if you still want to play in the NBA for 5 more years. So I don't think that the opt-in thing is going to happen with James Harden. If that happens, if you let Sam Cassell walk and James Harden opts into $47 million, and you don't find a way to trade Tobias Harris, you don't find a way to clear up any other cap space, and you're sitting here with this roster, $9 million or whatever over the cap room, over the cap ceiling, over the cap, and in the luxury tax threshold. Wow. That would I'd be like, Daryl, what? Your back's against the wall. What are you doing here? What are you doing? Man. So there you have it. There's the Sam Cassell thing. That popped up a minute before I was about to come up here and talk about some other things that I was looking forward to talking about today on the show. Thank you all for being here. 120 people in here. Please hit the like button. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's go over a couple things before I get into a video that I want to react to, and then we'll see if we have time to do some of the other things that I wanted to get to. Look. The Utah Jazz reportedly want a star-caliber player and a young prospect and picks in a trade package for Rudy Gobert, per Sean Devaney. As one Western Conference executive tells Heavy.com, the price for Gobert is pretty astronomical. Now, you might say, what the hell does this have to do with the Philadelphia 76ers? It doesn't technically, but when I was talking about, players that would be a big splash, or players that, when people ask me what's my dream scenario for the offseason, What's the perfect thing that could happen in the offseason? And you talked about a couple of players via trade or free agency, like a Zach LaVine, like Bradley Beal, a name that consistently comes up because there was rumors that he might want out of Utah is Donovan Mitchell. And then some people who it's looking like are ending up going to be correct about what they were saying is that the Utah Jazz would trade Rudy Gobert before they would trade Donovan Mitchell. Like, there's been rumors that, there's some kind of animosity in the locker room or these guys don't get along or whatever, and if you're going to choose one of them, they're going to choose Donovan Mitchell. He's 25 years old. He's a scoring stud. He's an all-star level player. Say what you want about his efficiency or whatever else. He shoots you out of games, on and on and on. Either way, he's a bucket. He's one of the best buckets in the NBA. At 25 years old, the Utah Jazz are not going to trade Donovan Mitchell. That's just not going to happen. So this news, the Rudy Gobert rumor, kind of rules out Donovan Mitchell as a trade opportunity for other NBA teams because the Utah Jazz are going to move on from Rudy Gobert, who, in my opinion, is a good defender, right? A good lob threat. One of the longest reaches I've ever seen, probably in NBA history. I don't know what the exact measurements are, but he's very tall, very long, blocks a lot of shots. I don't know if he's actually the best defender in the NBA. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year award before. I would say, based on what the Utah Jazz are going to be asking for Rudy Gobert, that he is wildly overrated. I don't think Rudy Gobert makes your team like they seem to be shopping him like a superstar, is what I'm saying. I don't think Rudy Gobert is a superstar. I just don't. So, Western Conference executive says the price for Gobert is pretty astronomical. Yeah, that's a little much for me on the Rudy Gobert front. And then this came out yesterday. A report from Legion Hoops. The Hawks could trade a combination of Clint Capella, John Collins, Kevin Huerter, and number 16 overall pick for Rudy Gobert. And I said, man, if I'm the Utah Jazz, I would do that trade yesterday. Are you kidding me? Clint Capella, John Collins, Kevin Huerter, and number 16. Now, are they saying all of those players together, or are they saying a combination of either or? A combination of Clint Capella, John Collins, Kevin Huerter, and number 16. Okay. So if they give up John Collins and number 16 for Rudy Gobert, I guess I could see that being not too crazy. It would be better for the Hawks if they could get away with giving up Kevin Huerter and number 16, but I don't think that's going to be enough for the Utah Jazz. John Collins is a great young power forward. Good three-point shooter. One of the best lob threats in the NBA. Athletic as hell. Obviously, he postered Joel Embiid and made it a T-shirt. It was an offensive foul, but we're not going to go there. But that's interesting to me. I think that would be highway robbery for the Hawks to do that. But maybe they think, hey, pairing Trae Young and Rudy Gobert makes us a contender. So who knows? But number 16 and all those players just for Rudy Gobert, I don't think that can't be possible, right? Right? There's no way that's possible, right? This popped up yesterday. It's the off season. Montrezl Harrell is facing felony drug charges for 3 pounds of marijuana in vacuum-sealed bags found at a traffic stop in Kentucky. And I retweeted it and said, damn, that's crazy. I'll take him on the Sixers, though. Montrez, if you somehow escape the felony charges, and nobody wants you. We'll take you off the bench in Philly at a veteran minimum, all right? Just keep that in the back of your mind. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now, why the hell would you need 3 pounds of marijuana in vacuum-sealed bags? That sounds like intent to sell, right? Why would an NBA player who just came off an $18 million contract be wanting to sell marijuana? I have no idea. He might smoke a lot of weed, but does he smoke 3 pounds? Does he buy 3 pounds at a time? My goodness. Oh, man. I'm going to react to what Stephen A. Smith said on J.J. Redick's podcast. One more thing around the NBA real quick. Where are we at here? LeBron James is not expected to commit to signing an extension with the Lakers before free agency begins. Listen, I was always a LeBron fan. From the time he was drafted, from the time he was, coming up in the league. He's one of the greatest players of all time, lived up to the hype, exceeded expectations, all that. But the second half of his career, man, this guy has been absolutely decimating NBA teams and just bouncing. At this point in his career, he will come to your team. He will milk you dry. He will win a championship, and he will leave you with no players, no draft picks, no cap space, and then he will bounce. So at this point, getting LeBron James on your team, you better be prepared. You better be just prepared to sell your soul, basically. You're selling everything to try to win one championship with LeBron James. That's what you're doing. Because he would have committed already. Nick says LeBron made the Westbrook move. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's the GM. Everybody's known that since Cleveland. He tells the team what he wants. They go and get it. In Cleveland, he got his ring. Kyrie bounced. LeBron said, "There's nothing here for me. I'm out." Left them back in the NBA lottery again. Went to LA. Now, the moves that they made in the offseason was terrible, especially the Russell Westbrook move. Now they're capped out. They're stuck with that contract. They were an awful team because they're all 38 years old and up. And now LeBron's going to sit here and say, "Oops. My bad, guys. That didn't work out. See you later." And where does he go next, man? I'm at the point right now, it was always, like, for a lot of years, it was if you can get LeBron James on your team, you do it. But I think I'm at the point right now with LeBron James that if they would even say the Lakers are offering LeBron James for, I don't know, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, number 23, and 5 future picks, I would say no thank you. Not at this point. Blaze Kaiser, Embiid plus LeBron equals ring. I think that. I do think that. And I'm contradicting myself a little bit because I'm the one that usually says, go all in to win a championship. But I don't think I could do this with LeBron at this stage in his career. It's just funny to me that, man, he's just been taking NBA teams for everything they can offer him, and then saying, "Oh, this didn't work out," or you guys are on the downward slope here. Sorry guys, I'm out. So he didn't announce yet that he's going to sign an extension, and that basically means that he's unsure. So the Lakers could be screwed with massive cap problems and no LeBron James in the future. Man, that would be awful, wouldn't it? All right, check this out. Just for entertainment purposes, once in a while, I scroll and jump over to Sixers 24/7 on Facebook. Now, Sixers 24/7 on Facebook, if you don't know, is Fanboy 24/7. That's what it is. It's 90,000 people that want to cheerlead this organization and this team every single year. They don't want to hear anything negative, and they will stop at nothing to remind you that you should be happy with the Sixers right now. The way I see it. All right, let's just read the post, okay? This is Chris Coleman. Myself and Chris L. Coleman get into some arguments on Sixers 24/7 once in a while when I'm completely bored and I just hop in there and want to, bang, bang, bang with the responses and jump out and go about my life because it's fun for me, okay? But these are the type of posts you see in there. So let me get this straight. This is actually hilarious how wrong this is. So let me get this straight, he says. Danny Green has to go. James Harden has to go. We are trading the 23rd pick. Harris has to go. Korkmaz has to go. Shake has to go. Embiid, Maxey are the only ones you guys are bringing back. LOL. Yes. Yes. Yes, Chris Coleman. Yes. Yes. Let me get this straight. You got it straight. Yes, that's exactly right. First of all, so let me get this straight. Danny Green has to go. The guy just tore his ACL and MCL. Is 36 years old, has one $10 million year left that's non-guaranteed. What are you talking about? He's not coming back. Are you that much of a fanboy that you're a big-time advocate of Danny Green and he's untouchable? James Harden has to go. I don't know about that, only because you almost can't. And he's got to opt in, or you have to sign him to a contract and pray and hope. We are trading the 23rd pick. If it can get you a star player in a package that you can put next to Joel Embiid that can help you be closer to winning an NBA championship, yes, of course you're trading the 23rd pick. Harris has to go. You mean the most overpaid player in the National Basketball Association, a 17-point-per-game player who's getting paid $180 million over 5 years, literally behind James Harden, the highest-paid player on the team, more than Joel Embiid? Yes. Yes. Harris has to go. A, for cap space purposes. B, because he's just not that great of a fit next to Joel Embiid. So, yeah, you got that one right, too. Korkmaz has to go. There's no way you guys are sitting up here in this Facebook group telling me Furkan Korkmaz and Shake Milton are of the untouchables on the Sixers roster. Did you watch Korkmaz last season? He played for 4 straight months. He shot 10% from 3. He was 1 for 729,000. And Doc Rivers finally had to stop playing the dude because he stinks. Yes. You're correct on that one, too. Korkmaz has to go. Shake Milton has to go. Doesn't have to. But if he has any value and he can get you something in return, absolutely. So, for fun, I jump in the replies here. My guy Jay Frager right here, who he has a show called Eat Sleep Sixers that they broadcast on Sixers 24/7 actually when it's live. And Jay says and I mean this in all disrespect, Jay, if you watch the YouTube channel. Man, this is so stupid the way people think. We won 50 games, made it to the second round, and who knows what could have happened if Embiid wasn't hurt. I don't disagree with that completely. Yet we're trying to tear everything down like we're Sacramento or somebody. Like, are we for real? Almost the whole team is under 30. Let's build off what we got and see what happens. How are you going to build off what you got if you're not willing to make any moves? So I reply to my guy, Jay, and I say, how many years would you like to say winning 50 games and getting to the second round is enough? It's been like 5 straight seasons now. Okay. Jay says, man, this ain't no barely making it to the playoffs and get swept in the first round team. You don't start a rebuild after losing in the second round. Is Memphis Grizz going to do that? No, because they draft good players. What, how we, Memphis Grizz? Come on, man. Harden just got here and we're giving up on everything. All I'm saying is make tweaks and run it back. Isn't that the name of your podcast? Shout out to Jay for that. And I said, nobody's saying a rebuild. We're giving up on players that are overpaid and underperform. Danny Green isn't even playing next season. Torn ACL, had a non-guaranteed contract. Harden you keep and hope. Korkmaz, Shake, and others you mentioned are bottom of the barrel, dime a dozen players that you can get any time off of any G League team. Tobias, the most overpaid player in the NBA. Lou Dort is more productive as an example. If you can find a taker, you sell Tobias without blinking. And Jay says, man, it seems like people want to give up everything that's called a rebuild. I'm only willing to move with Tobias, whatever. Anyway, Chris jumps back in. Eastwood ain't going to be happy until we trade everyone and we go back to only winning 20 games a year. He'll be happy. Philadelphia is only happy when we have Clarence Weatherspoon and Rick Mahorn as our best players. And that's the perception of me in this group. They just think I'm a negative, mean, always angry Sixers fan who's never happy. And so I said, or I just want the team that wins 50 games and bounces in the second round to make offseason improvements, but enjoy your mediocrity. Nobody said get rid of everyone, but y'all talking about Furkan and Shake Milton are untouchable is just funny. There's a little entertainment for you from Sixers 24/7 Facebook group. Never a dull moment. If you're not in there, go in there just for fun. But I will warn you, don't take anything you see in there seriously because it will give you a massive headache. All right, so for fun here, Stephen A. Smith goes on the JJ Redick podcast on YouTube, and he had some things to say about Allen Iverson, and he had some things to say about Allen Iverson in comparison to Ben Simmons or Ben Simmons in comparison to Allen Iverson. The title is actually of the clip is Ben Simmons is the antithesis of everything Allen Iverson personified, and I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. But just for entertainment purposes, let's hear what Stephen A. had to say about it. Are we getting volume on that video? Is this another Windows 11 thing that I need to figure out on the fly? Oh, USB mix minus. My bad. Okay, here we go. This should have volume, right?
In high school, and he, him along with Kobe, that sort of next era, that post-Jordan era, was an interesting time for the NBA, but specifically as it relates to Philadelphia. And having played there for 2 years and seen the receptions that he gets when he comes back, what do you think it was about Allen Iverson in probably the toughest sports town to be revered in that still to this day he is so revered?
Easily. He was a warrior. Philadelphia is a phenomenal sports town. I loved my time there.
Yeah, we are.
Philadelphia is a town, however, with a complex. It never feels like it's respected and appreciated to the degree that it deserves. Allen Iverson eradicated all of that. Allen Iverson represented Philadelphia, personified everything that Philadelphia saw itself as. Undersized, underdog, in a land of giants, but still conquering.
Volume's good? All right, volume's good.
That's how they viewed Allen Iverson. And the Allen Iverson practice, man, we talking about practice. The Allen Iverson that was in Fridays all the damn time on City Avenue, the Allen Iverson that was running the streets and stuff like that was not the Allen Iverson that showed up when it was time to perform.
In Fridays all the time? You're not allowed to be in TGI Fridays when you're an NBA player? What does that mean? No, there's a quote from Allen Iverson because he was accused of spending $40,000 in TGI Fridays, and he's quoted as responding to that, and he said, "Man, that ain't true." Something like, "I never spent that much money in a TGI Fridays. There wasn't even any strippers there unless I brought them. And in that case, there might have been some there, but I didn't spend that much money because they didn't have the 2 for $20 back then."
The brighter the lights, the bigger the challenge, the more he welcomed it. That's Philadelphia. And that's why somebody, dare I say, like Ben Simmons, not literally, but figuratively speaking, he can never go back.
No, literally, he can literally never go back, not just figuratively. He can never go back.
They will never forgive him, ever, because they view him as a coward. I don't view him as that. That's a bit extreme.
Yeah, you do. Don't lie. Don't lie now because you're an ESPN guy and you got to be mainstream and you can't call someone a coward. You ripped him to shreds on ESPN nonstop. Yes, you do. The whole world views him as a coward. Give me a break now.
I don't know all the intricacies of what's going on with him. I just feel like, hey, you still asking for your money, so I got a problem with that. But Philadelphia believes he's a coward. Philadelphia believes he's the antithesis of everything Allen Iverson personified.
Because he is.
And if anything, Ben Simmons' existence over the last year has elevated the allure to Allen Iverson even more because they're saying, damn, we missed that. And remember, when they went to the finals, Aaron McKee, tough, hard-nosed player, George Lynch, Tyrone Hill, Dikembe Mutombo, these guys, they all had Eric Snow. They all had that kind of personality. Wasn't blessed with tremendous mercurial abilities, but they were hard-nosed. They ran from no damn body. And Allen Iverson was their star.
Yeah.
We talked about this with Gary Payton last week. I'm curious what you think about it. Mm-hmm. Having a little bit of sympathy for some of the guys now, not just in the NBA, but just, pro athletes in general, with social media and with the constant barrage of criticism and attention all the time with everything they make.
I like this topic. I do like this topic because it is a different era. And back in the day, Michael Jordan could have 3 straight bad games on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the middle of the regular season, and unless a beat reporter wrote an article about it, he didn't get hit with it. I mean, you're a professional athlete. You got to ignore a lot because everybody has a phone and Twitter and Instagram and can come at you 24/7. So, but that's no excuse for the way that Ben Simmons ended up.
A mistake and it becomes a 24-hour talking point. But Gary was like, I don't think I would have been able to make it if I was playing. If I was doing everything I was doing off the court.
Yeah.
If I was like his son now, if I was playing now, I wouldn't be able to make it. Do you feel that, having sort of covered both the AI, obviously, in a generation where that didn't exist, and now covering these guys today?
I don't feel sorry for them. I know that exists, but I don't feel sorry for them. And here's why I don't feel sorry for them.
Giacomo, come on, bro. Jordan never had 3 straight bad games in a regular season. I'm not even going to take the time to go find them, but I know they exist.
Because you're no different than the rest of us. I ain't playing the NBA. I blink wrong. Could you imagine what they're going to say about me on social media? It's most of us now. Everybody wants a voice. Everybody wants their voice to be heard. And by the way, it's not because they have this insatiable appetite to be heard. They think it can be monetized. And in some cases, it can. And so when you think about it, we all want to act like dollars and cents doesn't have something to do with everything. But damn it, if it ain't everything, it's most things. And when you think about social media, that's what you have to think about. You got people who are YouTube stars. You've got females who are Instagram stars. I mean, think about that for a second here. And so when you have that going on and you find a way to monetize, well, guess what? The vast majority of American citizens ain't making but so much money. And so not only that, they got to show up to work. They got to answer the bosses they don't want to answer to. They got to show up to a job they don't want to show up to. They got to travel to get to that job through a means of transportation they would prefer not to utilize. You got all of this going on, and all of a sudden, I can get on my computer straight out of bed and make myself some money. If I can somehow, some way.
I feel like this part's about me a little bit. Because I spent 2 years in my attic studio ripping Ben Simmons to shreds.
Manufacture whatever abilities I have into something that resonates to an audience. That's how they're thinking. For example, JJ Redick complains all the time about being misquoted. He is absolutely right. What did I say to him? I didn't say to him he wouldn't be misquoted. I said, get used to it. It happens all the time. You know how many times people will clickbait something and they put a headline and it had nothing to do with what I said.
It's aggregate bullshit.
That's right. They do it, right? Yeah. Because that way you click on it and you read the article. Here's where it's a problem for somebody like me. Half the time people hold stuff against me based on the headline. They never even read the article. They never even saw the clip. They saw the headline.
That's society in general now, man.
Damn Stephen A, here you go again. And they do stuff like that. I accept it. I understand that it comes with the territory. I understand the reason for its existence. And the modern day player has to understand it too, because if you want to utilize something to your advantage, you have to recognize its detriment.
Thank you for that, Stephen A. And thank you for, JJ Redick for the JJ Redick podcast episode. Yeah, he's right. He's right about Allen Iverson and Ben Simmons, man. We watched a Warrior play in this city. And now we're watching one right now. It's not just that we thought Ben was a fraud and a what did he call him? A coward. Because we watched Allen Iverson. It was also the fact that he was on the same team with Joel Embiid, who is, in my opinion, the most Warrior-like player since Allen Iverson. And you had a chance to help him win a championship, and you acted like a little biatch about it every day. You had a coach that was kissing your ass, begging you, arguing with the media, putting his neck out there, looking stupid for you, and then you quit on him too. Yeah. Ben Simmons, the biggest fraud of all time. I mean, that just goes without saying, man. It really does. Anyway, what's going on, guys? What's up in the chat, man? 150 people still in here on a Wednesday in the off season, man. Thanks for being in here. Lucas, am I wrong for saying that I don't even care Doc Rivers is our coach anymore? We have so many issues that I can't blame him anymore. I talked about this with Tom Arnone the other day, and if you haven't seen that clip, that's on the YouTube channel as a separate clip. Me and Tom Arnone talking about what the Sixers' biggest issue is. And yeah, they have a lot of issues. Joel Embiid's health. James Harden, whether he can come back and be a star-level player or not, whether he opts into a contract or not, the bench depth, Danny Green's gone, tore his ACL, Tobias Harris being overpaid. There's a lot of issues, but in my opinion, even if you fix all of those issues, even if James Harden plays like a star, Joel Embiid remains healthy, the Sixers would go farther than they have in the past. I think that would land them probably in the NBA Finals at least the Eastern Conference Finals. But I still think Doc Rivers would probably end up being the detriment of the team no matter what. Whether it's the Eastern Conference Finals, whether you get to the NBA Finals. I don't think you are winning an NBA championship with Doc Rivers. I don't think it's happening. And now, yeah, you know, you're going to let Sam Cassell go. You're going to let Sam Cassell go to another team, and it's ridiculous, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's unbelievable. Before I want to get out of here, some Philadelphia Eagles talk. Before I get up out of here, and this is by NBC Sports .com. And I think this is interesting because when you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles team and all of the strengths that they appear to have, all of the moves that they have made so far, this list kind of embodies what I've said recently about the Eagles. I could see them with the amount of talent that they have. I could offense, defense, offensive line, short up the linebacker position, the corner position, the running back position, tight ends, wide receiver position, of course. I could see this team being good, and I could still see them moving on from Jalen Hurts. I could see them pulling a 49ers who didn't end up trading Jimmy Garoppolo, but got all the way to the Super Bowl and tried to trade him the next season. I could see this team being good, but the front office still saying, we could still improve at the quarterback position. I could see that happening. But anyway, the NBC Sports Dave Zangaro ranked the positions by the Philadelphia Eagles 1 through 10. So let's check them out and see if we agree with this. Expectations are high for the Eagles in 2022. I don't know if the expectations are high. I'm not doing that to myself. You can have high expectations if you want to. I'm still where I was at. Now I'm a little higher than I was, but I'm not sitting here, selling to myself that this team is a Super Bowl contender. I think this team's going to be a lot more competitive than they were last season. And, yeah, they made the playoffs. Yeah, they beat 9 bad teams in a row by running the ball 70 times a game. I get that. But I think this team could be more competitive with at least teams above 500. But I wouldn't say they have high expectations. It wasn't easy to rank their position groups, but here's what I came up with from strongest to weakest. The strongest position group for the Philadelphia Eagles, according to Dave Zagaro, is the offensive tackle position. I agree with that. That's the strongest position. Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Pro Bowl caliber players. And when he's healthy, there's not a better right tackle than Johnson. I agree. Mailata is already very good left tackle and presumably be getting better. And after those two guys, the Eagles have solid backups in Andre Dillard, Jack Driscoll, and LaRaven Clark. I'm going to agree with that. And that's the main reason that they had the rushing attack that they had last season, because the offensive tackle position is massive. And Jordan Mailata being a rugby player and, them turning him into a Pro Bowl caliber offensive tackle is incredible, and like an amazing job done by the Philadelphia Eagles, their staff, Howie Roseman to draft him, everybody. Number 2, defensive tackle. We're gonna throw in Jordan Davis there, even as a rookie, but he takes the defensive tackle position to another level, and I can't wait to watch that kid play as a rookie. Even if we recognize that Fletcher Cox isn't the same dominant player he once was, we have to realize he's still pretty good. He's part of a rotation with Pro Bowler Javon Hargrave, as well as first-round pick Jordan Davis and last year's third-round pick Milton Williams. That's very good, deep 4-man rotation that will keep those guys fresh throughout the season. Hey, we got to the Super Bowl by having, arguably the number 1 defensive line in football. So I hope we get back to that. Because that's definitely a way to dominate the NFL. It's having a very strong defensive line. Number 3, he has cornerback. I don't know if I agree with this off the top just because I don't know what James Bradbury looks like. I know he had a bad year with the Giants last year. I know he was a Pro Bowler the year before that. At 29 years old, I think 30 years old, I'm not sure what I haven't seen him play yet. So I don't know if I could put the cornerback position that high. Obviously, Darius Slay's a stud still. You can toss in Avonte Maddox, he says. Young corners like Zach McPherson, Tegu, and Kerry Vincent. Just I don't know. I don't know if I'd put cornerback that. I'd put receiver. He has receiver at number 4. I'd put receiver. Man, I'd definitely put receiver above corners. I mean, look, man. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Nobody's talking about Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins is a stud. And now he's going to have even less pressure on him because of A.J. Brown. That's a bang, 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 1, 2, and 3. Zach Pascal from the Colts that they signed. I don't know much about him. Rager, why do they still put Rager in there? Why are you still listing Rager on the thing, man? He's out. Get him out here. Round out the top 5. If they want to keep 6, they have intriguing options like John Hightower, Devin Allen, and Britton Covey. But I would put the wide receiver position probably at number 3 at least, even though they're young, man. Devontae Smith is a stud. Adding A.J. Brown. I think Quez Watkins is going to ball out. I think this is going to be one of the best receiver cores in the entire NFL. Call me crazy. I think so. Number 5, interior offensive line. Jason Kelsey's 34, but he's coming off yet another Pro Bowl season. Likely to remain very good in 2022. Landon Dickerson. He'll hopefully man the left guard position. And at right guard, you have Isaac Seumalo, the first crack at the position. Seumalo has struggled to stay healthy, but once was a solid left guard who's making the switch. And they have depth inside too. Cam Jurgens, Driscoll. So interior offensive line, defensive line. We're strong in the positions that matter in the NFL. But what haven't you seen yet on this list? Position that matters the most in the NFL. It's quarterback. Number 6, off-ball linebacker. Kazir White from the Chargers. Young linebacker who was a stud, had over 100 tackles in one season. Excited to see what he can do. Nakobe Dean, obviously the rookie, who was listed as the best linebacker in the draft that somehow fell because of a rumored pectoral injury. At least that's what people are telling me. I never really figured out the whole story, but the fact that he fell to us is incredible. T.J. Edwards was good last year. I'm excited for the linebacker position on this team because it's been a lackluster for many years now. So I'm excited for the linebacker position. Number 7, the tight end position. Obviously, Dallas Goedert has a chance to be a top 5 tight end again in the NFL. Who's behind Goddard? They added 6th-round pick Grant Calcaterra. Jack Stoll, I think I remember him. The depth isn't great, but it's hard to overlook the stud at the top. I agree with that. Number 8, edge. We're putting all the overhang guys together. Hassan Riddick is a huge signing. Technically listed at a linebacker. I don't remember. I don't watch him enough to know what he played with the Cardinals. But his numbers as far as rushing the quarterback are impressive, and it's awesome to add him to the defensive line. Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett, if you could stop making stupid penalties, man. If you could just be smarter, that's all we ask. Just don't be a dumbass. Just don't hit people 20 yards out of bounds on 3rd and 90 in a playoff game. I've said all I've wanted to say about Derek Barnett over my time here on YouTube, but I might put the edge higher than that too. I think our defensive line is just going to be. I might go defensive tackle number 2. I might put the edge at number 3, and then the receivers at 4 and Maybe corner at 5 I would go. I don't know if I'm putting corner that high at all. Anyway, number 9, Dave Zagaro has the quarterback. This is the toughest one to place because it really depends on what you think of Jalen Hurts. To me, Hurts is a borderline top 15 quarterback, which really puts him in the average quarterback in the NFL. Can he get better? Absolutely. We just need to see it, and having a good backup like Gardner Minshew helps this ranking. So he's being positive, but he's not going crazy. He's not, watch and learn, watch and see, guys. Everyone's going to see. All the haters are going to shut up when Hurts comes out throwing 50 touchdowns. We just don't know, and this is the season for him to show us if he can or not. If he comes out and has the same issues, then I think we move on. Gardner Minshew being the backup helps this ranking. I guess it does. I like Minshew as a backup. I like Jalen Hurts as a backup. In my humble opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles have 2 backup quarterbacks on the roster. But it is what it is, man. And number 10, he has running back. 10. That seems kind of low. I don't know. Miles Sanders is a good running back, but when healthy, he's missed 9 regular season games over the last 2 years. Yeah, he's always injured. And he has a fumbling issue. Last season, Sanders played in 12 games but had career high 5.5. After him, the Eagles have solid rotational guys like Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell, who figures to have an expanded role in year 2. They are, however, missing a big bruising back like they had last season with Jordan Howard. Why does Jordan Howard keep getting snubbed? Jordan Howard keeps proving that he's good in the NFL and can't seem to remain on a football team. I don't know why. But I think Kenneth Gainwell will end up being the future running back of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that. I think the dude's really good. He's really good. He just hits the hole. He just goes in a straight line. Miles Sanders, too much dancing around for me. Too much dancing, jumping sideways, and fumbling the ball for me. Kenny Gainwell gets that rock. Bang, bang, right in the A-gap. Let's go. I like Gainwell a lot, man. 11 specialists, 12 safety. Yeah, who cares about the specialists? Like, are we ranking a kicker? Who cares that much? Jake Elliott, whatever. Punter, whatever. Who cares? 12 safety. Yeah, that's still the Eagles' weakest link is a safety position. Rodney McLeod, Anthony Harris, Marcus Epps. Who knows? They let Rodney McLeod walk, Anthony Harris and Marcus Epps. Anthony Harris was terrible last year when it mattered most in the end zone, tackling guys for costly pass interference penalties. Can't really cover that well once the player gets beyond the corners. I don't know. None of these guys impress me that much. Kavon Wallace was drafted from out of Clemson like a couple years ago, and the dude, for whatever reason, still can't get on an NFL football field. He tweets all the time like he's Brian Dawkins the second, but Kavon, when are we going to see you? The only time we saw you last season was when you helmet-to-helmeted somebody that ended up being a costly mistake in a playoff game. Was that a playoff game where he had that, hit the guy in the back of the helmet on the ground and got 15 yards? I don't know. But yeah, I agree with the safety being the last, but I'd put receivers higher. I'd probably put edge rushers higher. Other than that, man, the Eagles, we got some question marks. But I'm excited to see, what happens. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in today. The 76ers are going to let Sam Cassell walk. We're stuck with Doc Rivers. It's another just sad piece of information that keeps getting us closer to yelling sell the team. It's embarrassing and ridiculous. It really is that we're stuck in this situation and they don't care. Or they actually think they can win with Doc Rivers. I just feel like they don't care. This has been Run It Back Philly. Don't forget, protect yourself from identity theft. Aura.com/runitback. Sign up for a 14-day free trial. Aura.com/runitback. That's all I got, guys. Y'all have a great day.